Welcome back to LearnWake. This is Brandon Judd responding today to a video analysis request uploaded by user felval, and this is on second analysis for a heel side back roll. And it looks like he's done a heel side back roll before. We've analyzed that in the past, and if you want to see and kind of catch up on these videos, if you go down here in this section, it's not showing it in my screen, but it will on yours. If you scroll down, you'll see the other videos that it's related to, and you'll be able to see the video that he sent in, the one that I'm analyzing right now, and then also the previous back rolls, so you can kind of catch up if you're wanting to see the whole story here. So first of all, this is looking much better. I really like a lot of things in here that are functioning much better, especially right at the wake. You're being much more patient and you're staying against the line a lot longer, which is fantastic. In the description down here, he says, "Hi, this is my second analysis on the back roll. I think I've improved in some aspects," which you absolutely have, since I'm not landing on the front side spin anymore, but I'm having difficulty completing it. So one of the issues you were having last time is you were turning front side really hard and you were going kind of halfway between a back roll and a back roll to revert. And it looks like you have fixed most of that, which is really good. So there's a couple small things that I want to talk about. A lot of it has to do with line tension, which comes back to your position at the wake, which comes back to how far out you're edging. So it kind of starts here, and then this symptom, or actually this problem, sort of creeps into the rest of your back roll, which creates new symptoms that are the ones that you're starting to pay attention to, which is the not landing part. But you can track it all the way from not landing to not getting the line tension in the air that you need to, not staying on edge through the wake long enough, to getting this approach a little too wide because you're getting on edge a little too hard, too fast. So it's kind of your typical story, but let's talk about yours in particular. So first of all, your approach, I would bring it in a little bit. I know this already feels like it's too short, but in reality, it's really not that short. It's more of a normal wake jump length. So I'd bring it in a little bit, just to maybe like right here. And then once you bring that in a little bit, it'll make it easier for you to fix the next thing. So let's see if we can cue it up. So you're on a good hard edge here. It looks like you're about to use some legs and get tall, which is great. And you're starting to, right here, you're already starting to kind of get into the roll a little too early, but just barely. And it's right there is where you can really see it. Your board, your foot is still kind of in the wake and your board is razor thin. I can see your edge really well, which means you're not leaning against the rope for as long as you could have. So let's compare that for a minute here. We're going to go to this little scroller bar slider thing just to kind of makes it a little easier. So when you edge into the wake, you're doing it very similar to Kyle here. Again, Kyle's approach is very short. He doesn't go out that far, just a nice quick approach. And then as he edges through the wake, he manages to hold his edge. You see how you can still see a lot of the bottom of the board here? Let's go back to yours and see how your board is really thin, and you're just seeing the toe side edge of the board here, and you can't really see any of the base. So that is an indicator right there that you're not leaning against the rope and putting enough pressure on the bottom of your board in the takeoff of the wake, which, as you can see in Kyle's here, he's got a lot of bottom of the board. You can see the bottom graphic really well. So in that instance, what's going to happen to Kyle is I want you to pay attention to the line tension. So right now the line tension obviously is going to be really tight, especially with the pressure on the bottom of his board. But then, as he goes into the air, right about here is where it starts to loosen up, and it gets really loose. Right around here, look how much slack there is in the line. That's because when the line was tight, it was kind of catapulting his body in the air toward the boat a little bit, which loosens up some of your line tension. And when you do that really aggressively, what happens is eventually all that line tension catches up to you, which is what happens at the end of the trick. You'll watch the line tension get tighter and tighter and tighter until right about here. See how it gets kind of tight on him again, and then Kyle uses the handle to kind of correct that front side rotation. So this is him. The reason he's pushing it towards his landing side is because it's allowing him to leverage the tail of the board back under him instead of staying on that heel side edge and falling over his heels like you were in the first video. Again, you're doing it much better now, but I just wanted to point out that's why he kind of does that. But in doing that, that extra line tension that catches up with Kyle pulls his upper body forward into this position. So that gives him an opportunity to get his upper body back upright over top of his board. So let's go back and let's look at yours really quick. So yours wasn't quite as tight through the line, wasn't quite as tight through here, the line tension. And what that does is it makes it kind of just average all the way through, and it doesn't give you the line tension you need at the end. So let's look through the flip here, and right here you'll see you're kind of reaching a bit for some line tension, and then the rope kind of droops a little bit. It's hard to see in this video, but the rope kind of droops and you stall right here. It's like as if someone was to tug on the handle and bring you, like if I was to stand on the back platform of the boat and pull on this rope right now, it would stand you back upright. But right now you just have nothing to lean against. There's really nothing there. So it causes you to fall back over your heels. Again, it's really good. There's a few very, very small minor things that we need to correct. But for the most part, you've got it pretty good. So again, a little shorter approach and stay against the rope a little longer than you think you need to all the way through the wake. Don't start using your upper body to kind of fling it this way and then shoot your lower body that way. You want to not rush the flip. You want to stay a little more upright for a little longer, kind of like Kyle does in here. You'll see how he's pretty much upright all the way through that edge, and then as soon as the board releases, then he gets into his flip, and it's nice and easy and comfortable. And then that's going to solve all of these problems on this end where you feel like you get kind of stuck and hung up, where the rope just kind of leaves you hanging. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up in the comments below, or you can correct it and upload another video just like you did last time. So good luck, and hopefully you'll land this next time you're out.